YouTube watch fans, how's it going today? How are you all surviving the virus whose name we dare not speak? I have been laying low here in my secret compound, and I'm pretty well provisioned. So, you know, the essentials, of course, cigars and assortment of liquor and liqueurs, and of course fine watches, and and can't run out of that, right? Hopefully everybody's staying safe and weathering the storm. It's just ain't this some stuff, right? I mean, interesting times we live in. I'm been using my time here to get squared away. I've been doing some watch deals, and more importantly, I've been picking up a couple of watches on my personal wish list. Not Grail watches, but watches I've been wanting for a long time. And so today we're here to talk about this guy. This is a 2019 Rolex Sky-Dweller Rolesor. And it's the blue colorway dial, Cobalt Blue, very desirable. And I was able to pick this watch up off the highs. I finally broke down after waiting at the AD for over 2 years and just bought the damn thing, right? It came down off its highs of 24, 25K, and I was able to pick it up for around 20, which made it about 37, 38, 4,000, around that range over list when you consider 14,800 plus our 10% sales tax. So it kind of made it for worth it for me to go ahead and just pick it up. You can screw the crown to the winding position and the watch winds as normal. Pull it out to the setting position, and you'll notice nothing happens. The mechanism is disengaged. Ring command is in the neutral position. So you turn it counterclockwise to the first position here, and this allows you to set the date. So I can go forward or back, quick set. So if you'll notice, the red indicator is on April. If I cycle through to the first, you'll see it jump. See it jump? So it's jumped to May 1st. I can go back, and I'm on the 31st of April. So we'll jump it to the 1st of May here. And now I will set the GMT hand, the local hour jumping hand, and I'm at 10:30 approximately, and 10:30 on my local time. So I want to jump it, say, 3 hours ahead. So 1, 2, 3. Now I'm at 1:30 local time, and still showing 10:30 GMT time on the inner subdial. Now, if I want to set the GMT time, I turn it to the third position. The watch hacks, so you can get precise synchronization, and I can turn all the hands together and they synchronize, they turn in synchronization. So now I'm at 12:30 GMT and 3:30 local time. So if that is not the correct time locally, I can go back to the second position and I can jump the hour hand where it needs to be. Say I'm more like 5 hours ahead. So I'm at 5:30 local, and my GMT home time is at 12:30. So that's pretty slick. That basically works like a GMT Master 2, except you got quick set, date, and you got month indication. So very handy, very slick setup. And I do a fair amount of traveling, so this is really going to come in handy. And of course, you would screw in your crown to maintain your water tightness and move your ring command to neutral position. That's just good practice. So that's how ring command works. I'm going to talk about one of the most prominent features of the Sky-Dweller and one of the most unique and functionally useful features, and that is what Rolex calls the Saros system annual date complication. It's not a perpetual calendar, but it's the next best thing, an annual calendar, which means it only has to be adjusted once per year at the February to March date change. And so what that means to you as a user, you only have to reset your date once a year instead of 5 times, which most would agree is very useful. So how did Rolex achieve this? You know, it's actually pretty clever what they did. Most perpetual and annual calendar movements tend to be extremely complicated and delicate in nature. Rolex, on the other hand, designed a very simple 4-gear gear train, what they call the orbital and planetary gear system, to achieve a much simpler and robust design overall. So, of course, Rolex patented the Saros system. In my opinion, the annual calendar, along with the month indication, brings the Sky-Dweller's CAO 9001 movement very close to grand complication territory. I'd talk briefly about some of the design elements of this watch. This definitely harkens back to Rolex's original tool watch concept, where you are designing a watch to do a specific task with a specific set of functions, and you're aiming it squarely at a specific type of end user. In this case, international travelers, jet setters, businessmen, etc. And, you know, basically it's a GMT type watch with some dress watch elements. But it definitely has a tool watch vibe to it. Don't be fooled by the dial, the date just like dial, and the fluted bezel. It is a big, heavy sport type watch, and it has just enough dress watch elements to let it kind of do perform a dual role. If you're traveling and you don't want to take a watch roll with multiple watches, you know, you could probably get by in a business meeting with this thing, and hobnob at cocktail parties, or you could wear it to the beach. So I like it. I think it's got a lot of dual personality to it, and it's probably something you either like or you feel that it's trying to do too much. So that's my take on the styling of this. It's the old tool watch design theory that Rolex has used forever. So here it is on my 7-inch wrist. My wrist is 55 millimeters wide, and that's about 2.25 inches, excuse me. That's the more important dimension, actually, the width of your wrist. Because I've seen this watch worn successfully on a 6.5-inch wrist that was kind of flat and wide. So the dimensions of the lugs are 50 millimeters, so anything over 50 millimeter, and it's not going to overhang, width, that is, width of your wrist. So it's a big watch. It's got a lot of personality. It's got a hell of a lot of wrist presence. It's loud, it's bold, you got to take that into account. But anyway, I think anything smaller than 6.5 inch, you should probably get into the 80 and give it a try if you can. Find a precious metal ones or something and try it on, That's the only way you really know for sure. So anyway, I think Rolex has a winner here. I think they hit it out of the park with this model. I think it's one of their best releases ever, if not the best, and that's a bold statement, but I stand by it. It's got a lot of useful functionality. It's a gorgeous watch. It's kind of got a dual personality. I mean, it's got a lot going for it, and I think it's going to hold its value and even go up in the future. I think it's going to be desired in the future. So I'll do some outdoor shots next, and you can see how it looks from a viewer's perspective. And cue the 70s funkadelic music now. Here it is. We're kind of showing Inga's taking the video, and that's what it looks like on my wrist from a distance. This is what somebody would see, the perspective. So Inga, what do you think?
Looks good.
Not too big?
No? Looks good.
Looks good. It's a little on the big side, guys, but I mean, you know, if you're into full-size watches, this is definitely no problem. Here, let me do the Houdinki pant shot. Right? I don't think it looks big. I think it's on the big side of what I prefer, but it is definitely manageable. So there you go.
Nice.
Nice. All right, cool. Cut.